Hey my friends, Tony here, back again. I just want to share with you a little bit about something I'm really passionate about, which is our masterclass. For those that don't know what my masterclass is, I'm an executive director for John C. Maxwell, the #1 leadership expert in the world, and he's written tons of best-selling books. And one of the books that he wrote last year, which I'm doing a masterclass on right now, is No Limits, Blowing the Cap Off of Your Capacities. And so we always place caps on what it is that we feel like we can do. And so one of the things that he shares in here, I know I've shared this before, but he shares it so eloquently, is about self-awareness. So I want you to think about this quote, and I'm going to digest it for you. I'm going to help you really dive deep into it. It says this, it says, self-awareness is a powerful skill. It enables you to see yourself clearly. It informs your decisions and helps you to weigh opportunities. It allows you to test your limits. It empowers you to understand other people. It makes partnership with others stronger. It allows you to maximize your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. It opens the door to greater capacities. So the key there, the very first sentence there though, there was all the benefits that you read about relationships and all the things that it does, but it shared in the very beginning there, it said self-awareness is a powerful skill. So here's the thing. You can develop the skill of self-awareness. Now, I had no idea what this was, skill of self-awareness. It wasn't until I sat in a workshop as a banker, and it was based off the book Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor out of Harvard. And it was this idea that if you can change the way you think from negative or neutral to positive, all of the amazing things that could happen in your life. And what happened was as a light bulb went on for me. And I was introduced to a whole new arena about my mind that I had no idea even existed. I was not aware. So you can never fix something if you don't know aware there's a problem. You just can't fix it. You know, one of my favorite quotes from Bob Proctor, one of my mentors, he shared, "How will you ever be able to break out of a prison if you don't even know you're in one?" And the problem with a lot of us is there's a lot of prisons we put ourselves in, self-imposed prisons, that we don't even know where the bars are at because we've never discovered it. We have no idea what limits are placed there until you start diving deeper into yourself about self-awareness. So I always teach that there's 3 things that separate highly successful individuals and corporations, athletes, CEOs, entrepreneurs from the average, from the rest. Very simply, they have a vision. I've talked to you a lot about vision. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot more about vision. Number 2, they have a high degree of self-awareness. And number 3, they have a very powerful reference group. But if number two is so powerful, because if I want you to do something for me. If you clasp your hands and you put your hands together, you've got your fingers that are interlocked, and either your right thumb was over your left thumb or your left thumb was over your right thumb, right? And so if we were to disconnect and interconnect the opposite way, where the other thumb is over the other thumb, the opposite thumb, your brain is screaming at you right now to go back. Try it. Try this. Write a comment. Did your brain scream at you? Go back. Go back to what's comfort, what's familiar. It's not comfortable, it's familiar. And so if you were to fold your arms, and some of you have your right hand under your left armpit, or some have your left hand under your right armpit, but if I were to say now interlock your arms the opposite way and fold your arms the opposite way, this is really screaming at you to go back. What that is that's a mechanism in your brain that pushes back on you to say this is not comfortable, this is not familiar. But when you become self-aware that mechanism is in your brain and all it's trying to do is just keep you in familiar, then you can start to work past it. But what a lot of people do is say that's not comfortable or I'm afraid. They mistake it for fear and then they keep going back to what's comfortable. But the self-aware people, they can move forward. So here's my question for you today. Ask and answer today. What areas of your life if you were to become a little bit more aware, could you completely change? If you were to become a little bit more aware about finances, could you increase your financial situation? If you were to become a little bit more aware about how the mind works in relationships, could your relationships flourish? So which areas of my life could I increase my awareness just a little bit to flourish? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. and write down an area, finance or relationships or time or health or whatever it might be. Write it down, let us know. And if we can help you, let us know. And if you're interested in joining a masterclass of ours, please, we'd love to have you, where we dive in deep for a week at a time on each one of the sections in his books. They're so good. Anyways, my friends, answer the question, what do you want to become self-aware in? Write it down and let us help you.